All right, welcome back to part two, where in our first segment, we're talking about manifest destiny, this idea of America expanding further and further westward. And then we got to James K. Polk being elected president in 1844 on this platform of expansion. So our first step in, here we go, expansion westward is with Oregon. Well, why? What is there with Oregon? Well, in his campaign's slogan in advocating for him being elected, he campaigned on the slogan of 5440 or fight, saying how that should be the northern border of the United States, advocating that, hey, we jointly control this region of Oregon with Britain. We should get it all. All of it should be ours, and we should fight for it if we don't get it. We're going for the whole thing or nothing else. Because the original intent for Oregon was about the fur trade. Well, by this time in the mid-1800s, the fur trading industry is beginning to fall out of fashion. People are not really wearing fur as much anymore because we've got cotton in the south. We've got the factories in the north that are pumping out textile, cloth, clothing. That started to change it. But a bigger reason why Polk is interested in this region is some of the benefits that come with this. A Pacific port to be able to trade with China and Asia. That was the original, going back to European exploration, trying to find a western water route all the way to Asia, which we never find. North America, South America are in the way. But Polk sees it that, hey, if we control this area, we can set up port cities and we can easily trade with Asia and bring back those riches that we've been wanting since the beginning of the school year. So that's the main reason why there's this push for Oregon, getting money, getting rich off of trade with Asia. All right. So with Oregon, when he becomes president, Polk begins to encourage Americans to begin moving to Oregon. He said, it is your patriotic duty to move here, using nationalism from our last unit. He is saying this because if we get more and more and more and more Americans to move to Oregon, we have a better claim that it belongs to us. So Americans, you got to do your due diligence. You got to do your patriotic duty and get the heck out there. How do people get there? Very simply put, the Oregon Trail. Maybe you've heard about this, maybe you haven't. Famous game from back in the 80s and 90s about people migrating to Oregon, getting as many people to move west as possible. So how are they getting there? Well, they're using a number of different types of wagons. There's the Conestoga wagon, there's prairie schooners, where everyone packs up all their belongings and they begin to move westward. Here, a picture of family and all their belongings packed up in these wagons. A wagon train of multiple people going together in trying to reach Oregon country, making it part of America. So, ultimately, acquiring Oregon is very simple. We don't go to war. We end up not fighting England or Britain for this, but we gain this peacefully. We agree to split Oregon country between the two countries. The 49th parallel, which was mentioned briefly in last unit with the Convention of 1818, that's just extended all the way to the Pacific Ocean, saying, okay, instead of all of this between the two countries, we'll just extend this line further westward, and boom, all of this in the full green becomes part of the United States of America. So we gain Oregon through peaceful negotiation with Britain. So that concludes our first topic in the Oregon country. Next topic coming up will be about Texas and the Texas Revolution and how we gain that area back for America. So be sure your note-taking guide is completely filled out, so that's ready to be submitted. Excuse me. And then be able to use that to update your objectives as well for Unit 9. So with that, I'll see you in the next video.